Hello viewers, I welcome you to today's edition of our Health Center with Ozion. Today, I want to make this video very short and very succinct to the point because this is an issue that a lot of us want to understand. Pneumonia. Pneumonia is a disease of the lungs. It's the infection of the lungs by certain microorganisms. And this is often being misconstrued by a lot of people because you think that going to the cold or rain would cause you pneumonia. This time, I want to tell you, when you hear someone saying that, say no. You don't go out to the cold to catch pneumonia. You stay when your immunity is compromised and pneumonia catches you. So, what I will say at this moment, pneumonia is caused by certain microorganisms such as bacteria, such as virus, such as fungi, or even protozoans when they have access to your lungs. These microorganisms will not have access to your lungs unless your immunity is compromised. And what do someone have to do to prevent this from having access to the lungs? The person has to be prepared of his body not to have these depreciated by exercising, which boosts immunity. According to a British journal, about 48% of the immunity is boosted by physical activity. So exercise, dieting, and vaccination when needed. So why do we mention vaccination? I mention vaccination here because the risk factors of someone having this disease include one, above the age from 65 and above. Why? Because someone at 65 and above is assumed that his immunity is not as strong as one in 35, 30, 40. So what should the person do? Vaccination. At that age, you need to check your doctor for vaccination against this disease. Because when your immunity is low, like I said, then these pathogens, microorganisms will have access to your body. Now, what next? Or who next? Another thing is a child less than 2 years often have fragile lungs, and that gives access to those pathogens to permeate into the lungs and cause damages that causes pneumonia. Another thing is a key factor is smoking. If someone is a smoke addict, smoking goes directly into the lungs, and the damages it causes is often very much underestimated. And that's why people continue to smoke the way they smoke. So when someone smokes, you notice that sometimes the person begins to spit often and the rest of them. That could be linked to COPD or whatever. But when such sputum, now listen, when such sputum, your sputum, the cough you're having begins to come with fever, come with cold, come with certain other symptoms, headache, respiratory problems, heartbeat that is rapid, tiredness, and the sputum is greenish, yellowish, or even bloody, that's a sign that you're there for pneumonia. There are some diseases that are often confused for pneumonia, like cold or flu. But cold comes most often without fever, and it just comes and the cough is there, the sinuses, your nose becomes congested, and other symptoms, headache, tiredness, but you don't see fever most often, no temperature. Just someone is in your environment and you see the person cover me and you see the person is really feeling chills, then that's different from pneumonia. When someone has flu, it comes with fever that lasts for like 3 to 4 days with all the symptoms I mentioned about cold. That's flu. But when these symptoms I just mentioned comes with sputum that is greenish, yellowish, and as well as bloody, then it points to this, and the fever continues until the particular virus, bacteria, or fungi is treated. Yes. There are different types of pneumonia. There are pneumonias that are contracted in the community where you are, called community-acquired pneumonia. The symptoms manifest early and are very much treated earlier. They are not as dangerous as the other one I'm going to mention. And what is the other one? The other one is called hospital-acquired pneumonia. Hospital-acquired pneumonia is the pneumonia that is contracted in hospital when someone has gone to the hospital due to a certain disease, and there the immunity of someone who is in the hospital is low because you're being treated of a certain disease, and these microorganisms, these pathogens, will have access to your lungs. There, the prognosis is bad. The prognosis I mean is that the treatment, the development of the disease continues for a long time when this pneumonia has penetrated your body. The infection, that's the inflammation, the treatment will take longer, and you find it difficult to, or the doctor finds it difficult to just treat it unless the normal dosage of antibiotics and the appropriate one has been given, if the damage hasn't been so much. So this is the picture of pneumonia, and if you look at the screen, you see what I mean. It is a very deadly disease, and we need to avoid this. Another type of pneumonia I would like us to mention here is aspiration pneumonia. Yeah, this is different from the other infection pneumonia, as much as it is an infection. How? You will wonder. Pneumonia, aspiration pneumonia is the kind of pneumonia that happens when what you're eating leaves the tract, the esophagus or the food pipe, and goes into the air pipe, the trachea. Maybe you're eating or you're drinking. When certain movement occurs, this deposits into your lungs, and because they won't be able to be coughed out, if you cannot cough them out or cough certain things out, going into your alveoli, your lungs, to begin to develop infections, and that is where pneumonia is equally manifested again. But the symptoms now remain the same, because when certain foreign deposits go into your lungs, the kind of bacteria or pathogens that will want to dwell on that will come, and when they are identified during the course of your suffering or diseases, they will be treated. If not, the problem continues. So with this picture, I hope you realize, I hope you have learned that pneumonia is not about it is raining, it's not about there is cold. No, otherwise everybody would be suffering from pneumonia. It is about your immunity, with the categories of people I've mentioned and some other factors that could cause your immunity to lower. Means that you have to watch your activities, especially physical activity. You need to improve on your physical activity. I have always been sure walking is a very good therapy. It's a very good way. Then we need to eat as though food is medicine. For those who don't eat, who fast without even the need for it, who eat the wrong things, watch your diet. Dieting helps a lot in boosting your immunity. Exercise helps a lot in boosting your immunity. And take your vaccination at appropriate times. If you're a child, if is a child in your family below 2 years, ensure the vaccinations required are given to this child to avoid pneumococcal infections. At 65 and above, ensure you take your pneumococcal vaccines. Then, for you who thinks that it is not there, ensure you boost your body with the necessary immune, sometimes supplements, vitamin C or whatever, vitamin C, vitamin D, even zinc should be checked. When you check these immune boosting supplements, when your body is not feeling too okay, aches, and it's different things, because when these develop, there is a lot of symptoms that manifest with it. So prevent this as early as possible and help your life to be better. Remember, health is wealth. And when this pneumonia is not well treated, the complication is that it could cause your body to become suffer from respiratory failure, suffer from sepsis, suffer from lung abscesses. So these diseases just mentioned are very terrible conditions that you wouldn't want to see yourself. Prevention is better, and the earlier we begin to look at this, the better for us. so that when these diseases come, you wouldn't have to misplace or accuse or explain it in a different way that it is not. Let's take good care of our health. For like I said again, our health is a precious asset. And when we do not recognize and appreciate it, it depletes. Thank you very much. Having taken this serious attention to this disease, let us as well, and even more so, take serious responsibility of our health. Thank you very much once again, and see you next time. Bye.